hit the subscribe button. Currently only 1.7% of my viewers are subscribe. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll release an exclusive special video just for you. James Montgomery jolted awake as the emergency alarm blared through his quarters on the ISS Victory. His heart raced as he fumbled for his communicator, a garbled message flashing on the screen. Earth Space Command had intercepted a distress signal from an alien race known as the Veridans, pleading for assistance against a catastrophic threat. Rubbing the sleep from his eyes, James activated the holo display. An image of General Hammond, the stern leader of Space Command, appeared. Commander Montgomery, we need you back on the front lines. The Veridans are in dire need, and the fate of more than just their species might hang in the balance. James sat up straighter, the weight of his past mistakes pressing down on him. After a controversial mission that had left his reputation in tatters, this was his chance for redemption. He nodded, determination solidifying his resolve. I'll lead the mission, sir. At the mission briefing, James was introduced to the ragtag crew of the Silver Lancers, a small fleet consisting of outdated ships and a handful of volunteers. Dr. Evelyn Harker, a brilliant but eccentric xenobiologist, greeted him with a sharp nod. We have to understand the Veridan technology if we're to help them, she said, her eyes gleaming with a mix of curiosity and urgency. Captain Mark Richards stood to the side, his arms crossed and expression skeptical. I hope your tactics are as good as they say, Montgomery. We're running on a shoestring here. James met Mark's gaze evenly. We make do with what we have. Our mission is clear: help the Veridans and neutralize the threat. The youngest member, Technician Ryan Sparks O'Connor, bounced on his feet, his enthusiasm almost palpable. I've modified the engine drives to squeeze out a bit more speed. It might help us outrun whatever's out there. As the fleet prepared to depart, James addressed his crew. We've been given a difficult task, but every one of you has something unique to offer. We're not just going out there to save the Veridans. We're going to prove that humanity stands by its allies, no matter the odds. The crew's collective nods and murmurs of agreement filled James with a cautious optimism. As they exited the solar system, the ship's sensors picked up an unusual anomaly. The holo display crackled, revealing a distorted image of a Carrack scout ship. The Carracks, a known hostile race, had also intercepted the Veridan signal and were en route to exploit the crisis. James' mind raced. We can't let them get to the Veridans first. Prepare for evasive maneuvers and ready the weapons systems. The ensuing encounter was tense. The Carrack scout ship, sleek and ominous, bore down on them. James barked orders, his tactical brilliance coming to the forefront. The Silver Lancers weaved through enemy fire, returning shots with precision. Sparks' modifications paid off, allowing them to outmaneuver the scout ship and deliver a crippling blow. As the Carrack's ship drifted powerless, James allowed himself a brief sigh of relief. Status report, he demanded. Evelyn's voice crackled over the comm, minor damage to the outer hull, but nothing we can't handle. We should reach the Veridan system soon. Mark stepped up to James, his earlier skepticism replaced with a grudging respect. Not bad, Montgomery. Not bad at all. The journey to the Veridan homeworld was fraught with tension. The crew stayed vigilant, knowing that the main Carrack's fleet was still out there, lurking. James spent hours strategizing, mapping out potential scenarios and countermeasures. Finally, they arrived at the Veridan system, only to be met with a sight of utter devastation. The Veridan capital city lay in ruins, and above it, a massive, swirling cloud of nanomachines consumed everything in its path. The crew watched in horrified silence as the holo display showed the extent of the destruction. A Veridan transmission broke through the static, the voice of their leader filled with despair. To the humans who have come to our aid, we are on the brink of extinction. The swarm was our creation, meant to heal and protect. But it has turned against us, and now it seeks to consume all. James clenched his fists. We need to get down there, assess the situation, and see how we can help. Prepare for landing. As the Silver Lancers descended towards the shattered remains of the Veridan capital, James felt the weight of their mission pressing heavily on his shoulders. The crew's survival, the fate of the Veridans, and perhaps even more rested on their actions in the coming hours. As the Silver Lancers touched down on the battered surface of the Veridan homeworld, the crew was greeted by a landscape of desolation. Towering structures, once magnificent, now lay in ruins, and the sky was thick with the haze of destruction. James Montgomery led his team down the ramp, his eyes scanning the devastation with a mix of determination and concern. Dr. Evelyn Harker stepped forward, her equipment already whirring as she began taking readings. "The nanomachines are pervasive," she murmured, her brow furrowed. "They're consuming everything organic and inorganic alike." James nodded, his focus sharp. "We need to find the Veridan leadership and get a clearer picture of the situation." As they advanced, they were met by a group of Veridan survivors, their eyes reflecting a mix of hope and desperation. The leader, a tall figure with shimmering skin, approached. "I am Irinder, head of the Veridan Council. Your arrival gives us a glimmer of a chance. Our technology, our very civilization, is being devoured by the swarm." Irinder led them to an underground bunker, a stark contrast to the world above. Inside, advanced technology hummed, displaying maps and data of the swarm's progression. Evelyn's eyes widened at the sight. "Incredible. Your technology is far beyond ours." Irinder's expression was grim. "Yet it has also led to our downfall. The nanomachines were meant to be our greatest achievement, self-repairing and self-sustaining. But something went wrong, and now they seek to consume rather than protect." James turned to his crew. "We need a plan. Evelyn, can you work with the Veridans to find a way to neutralize the swarm? Sparks, I need you to bolster our defenses. Mark, oversee the preparations and ensure we're ready for any Carrick's interference." As the team dispersed to their tasks, James felt a presence beside him. Irinder's eyes were filled with a mix of respect and pleading. "Commander, your reputation precedes you. We are counting on your ingenuity." James met his gaze. "We won't let you down. Humanity stands with you." Hours turned into a blur of activity. Evelyn and Irinder worked tirelessly, their combined knowledge pushing the boundaries of science in an attempt to find a weakness in the swarm. Sparks, ever the optimist, managed to enhance their defense systems, readying them for the inevitable Carrick's assault. Mark, though initially skeptical, now worked with unyielding focus, coordinating the efforts with military precision. In the heart of the bunker, James pored over tactical maps and data. The swarm's core was a swirling mass of destruction, seemingly impenetrable. A sudden thought struck him. "Evelyn, what if we could disrupt the nanomachines' communication? If they rely on a network to coordinate, breaking that link could immobilize them." Evelyn's eyes lit up with realization. "Yes, a targeted electromagnetic pulse might do it. But we'd need to get close, right to the core." The gravity of the task hung in the air. Getting to the core meant navigating through the most heavily infested areas, a near-suicidal mission. James knew he would have to lead the charge. "We'll need a diversion. Sparks, can you rig some of our ships to create a distraction?" Sparks grinned, his hands already moving to sketch out plans. "Consider it done, Commander." As preparations began for the daring mission, Mark approached James. "I've misjudged you, Montgomery. This is no easy feat, but if anyone can pull it off, it's you." James clasped his shoulder. "We all have a part to play. Let's make sure we see it through." The next morning, the Silver Lancers launched their diversionary attack. Explosions lit up the sky as Sparks' modifications sent waves of electromagnetic interference towards the swarm. Under the cover of the chaos, James, Evelyn, and a small team made their way to the core. Navigating through the wreckage was treacherous. Nanomachines buzzed around them, relentless in their consumption. Evelyn's device emitted a low hum, sending out pulses to keep the swarm at bay, but it was clear their time was limited. Finally, they reached the core. The mass of nanomachines writhed, a nightmarish vision of technology gone rogue. James set the charges, his hands steady despite the stakes. "Evelyn, get ready to trigger the pulse." As they worked, a sudden alarm blared. A Carrick's ship had broken through their defenses, heading straight for them. "We need more time," James shouted over the comms. Mark's voice crackled back. "We'll hold them off as long as we can. Just finish the job." With a final, determined push, Evelyn activated the device. The electromagnetic pulse surged through the air, and the nanomachines convulsed before collapsing into inert metal. The electromagnetic pulse had rendered the nanomachines inert, but the approaching Carrick's ship loomed as a stark reminder that their mission was far from over. James Montgomery and his team quickly regrouped, each member's face etched with determination. "We don't have much time," James said, his voice steady. "Sparks, get us an extraction plan. Evelyn, see if you can salvage any useful tech from the swarm's remnants. Mark, I need you on defense. The Carricks won't wait for us to finish up here." The team moved with precision, the weight of their task pressing on them. Sparks dashed to the comms, his fingers dancing over the controls. "Commander, I can rig a few of our drones to create a diversion. It won't hold them for long, but it might buy us some time." Evelyn was already sifting through the remnants of the nanomachines, her eyes sharp with focus. "These fragments are still emitting low-level signals. If I can isolate their command frequencies, we might find a way to repurpose them against the Carricks." James nodded, appreciating the urgency in her tone. "Do it. Every advantage counts." Mark's voice crackled over the intercom. "We have incoming fire. They're trying to soften us up before the main assault." James gripped his communicator. "Hold the line, Mark. We're almost ready." As the first wave of Carrick's fighters descended, the ground shook with the impact of their weapons. Sparks drones zipped into action, releasing clouds of interference that scattered the enemy's targeting systems. The sky lit up with the exchange of fire, each explosion a testament to the fragile balance of their situation. Evelyn's breakthrough came just in time. "I've got it. We can reverse the polarity on these fragments to disrupt the Carrick's communications. It'll create chaos in their ranks." James allowed himself a brief smile. "Excellent work. Implement it immediately." With their new strategy in place, the tide began to turn. The Carrick's fighters, once coordinated and deadly, now moved erratically, their formations breaking apart. Mark's defensive line held strong, repelling the disoriented attackers. James led his team back to their ships, the urgency of their departure palpable. "Evelyn, keep working on those fragments. We might need more tricks up our sleeve. Sparks, get us airborne." As the Silver Lancers lifted off, the Carrick's ship loomed larger, a behemoth of dark metal and sinister intent. The enemy's main vessel had arrived, dwarfing the remaining fighters and casting a shadow over the battlefield. "We need to hit them hard and fast," James said, his mind racing through tactical possibilities. "Sparks, prepare the drones for a direct assault on their command ship. Evelyn, see if you can boost our signal jammers to maximum capacity. Mark, I need you to coordinate our attack pattern." The ship's engines roared as they soared toward the Carrick's command vessel. Sparks drones led the charge, darting through enemy fire with surprising agility. The sky was a chaotic ballet of maneuvers and explosions, each movement a calculated risk. Evelyn's modifications worked flawlessly. The boosted signal jammers caused the Carrick systems to falter, their defenses scrambling to adapt. Mark's tactical acumen shone as he directed the fleet, their coordinated strikes hitting key targets with precision. The Carrick's command vessel shuddered under the onslaught, its hull cracking and venting atmosphere. James seized the moment. "Now's our chance. All units focus fire on their bridge. Let's bring this monster down." The concentrated barrage was relentless. The Carrick's ship, once an imposing threat, began to crumble. Explosions rippled across its surface, the once formidable vessel now a tumbling wreck in the void. As the last of the enemy resistance faded, a collective sigh of relief echoed through the Silver Lancer's comms. James took a deep breath, the weight of their victory settling in. "Good work, everyone. We've bought ourselves some time. Let's regroup and prepare for the next phase." Evelyn approached James, her expression a mix of exhaustion and satisfaction. "We've dealt them a heavy blow, but they'll be back. We need to stay one step ahead. James nodded, his gaze steely. Agreed. We'll use this respite to fortify our position and gather more intel. The Veridans still need our help, and we can't afford to let our guard down. As the Silver Lancers regrouped, the sense of accomplishment was tempered by the knowledge that their fight was far from over. They had won a crucial battle, but the war for survival and alliance was just beginning. The stakes remained high, and the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty. James looked around at his crew, each member a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. We may be small, but we are not insignificant. We'll show the universe what we're capable of. As the Silver Lancers regrouped, the aftermath of the battle left an uneasy silence over the Veridan capital. James Montgomery stood at the helm, his thoughts racing through their next steps. The Carrick's command ship was destroyed, but their presence in the system was a stark reminder of the ongoing threat. We need to fortify our defenses and assess our resources, James commanded. Evelyn, keep working on the nanomachine technology. Sparks, get those drones repaired and operational. Mark, coordinate the perimeter defenses. The team moved with practiced efficiency, their shared purpose driving them forward. Evelyn dove back into her analysis, her mind sharp with focus. The remnants of the nanomachines held potential secrets, and she was determined to unlock them. Sparks, ever the optimist, set to work on the drones. His modifications had been crucial in the last battle, and he knew they could be the key to their survival. These drones will be better than ever, Commander. We'll be ready for anything. Mark surveyed the defenses, his military precision ensuring that every aspect was covered. We've got limited resources, but we'll make do. If the Carricks come back, they'll find us ready. The Veridan leader, Irinder, approached James, his expression weary but hopeful. Commander Montgomery, your actions have given us a fighting chance. We cannot thank you enough. James met his gaze, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders. We're in this together, Irinder. Humanity and the Veridans must stand united against this threat. As the day turned to night, the team continued their work, the urgency of their mission never far from their minds. Evelyn made a breakthrough, her excitement palpable. James, I've isolated a command frequency that we can use to control the remaining nanomachines. We can turn them against the Carricks. James's eyes widened with interest. That's excellent news, Evelyn. We need to implement this immediately. It could be our ace in the hole. With the new plan in place, the Silver Lancers prepared for the inevitable Carrick's retaliation. The atmosphere was tense but filled with a steely resolve. They knew the stakes, and each member was ready to face whatever came their way. Hours later, the sensors blared a warning. A new wave of Carrick's ships had entered the system, their intent clear. The team moved into action, each role crucial to their survival. James took command from the bridge, his voice steady and authoritative. Activate the nanomachines, Evelyn. Sparks, deploy the drones. Mark, ready the defenses. The Carrick's ships advanced, their weapons lighting up the sky. Sparks' drones danced through the chaos, creating confusion and opening pathways for their counterattack. Evelyn's reprogrammed nanomachines surged forward, infiltrating the Carrick systems and wreaking havoc. The battle was fierce, each moment a test of their ingenuity and courage. The Carricks, unprepared for the nanomachine assault, faltered. Mark's defensive strategies held strong, repelling wave after wave of enemy fighters. Irinder watched in awe as the Silver Lancers turned the tide. Your people are remarkable, Commander. We are in your debt. James nodded, his focus unwavering. This is what we do, Irinder. Together, we can overcome anything. As the battle raged on, a particularly aggressive Carrick's ship broke through their defenses, heading straight for the Veridan command center. James acted swiftly. All units, focus fire on that ship. It must not reach the ground. The concentrated assault was relentless. The Carrick's ship shuddered under the barrage, its defenses crumbling. With a final, explosive burst, the ship was obliterated, its fragments scattering harmlessly. The remaining Carrick's forces, disorganized and demoralized, began to retreat. The combined efforts of the Silver Lancers and the Veridans had proven too formidable. The skies cleared, leaving behind a victorious calm. James took a deep breath, the enormity of their victory settling in. He turned to his crew, pride evident in his voice. "We did it. We've secured the Veridan homeworld and sent the Carracks running. This is just the start of our alliance." Evelyn, Sparks, and Mark joined him, their faces reflecting the hard-fought success. Arinder stepped forward, his gratitude palpable. "Commander Montgomery, your bravery and leadership have saved us. We stand ready to aid you in any future endeavors." James extended his hand, a gesture of solidarity. "Thank you, Arinder. Together, we will face whatever comes next." As the Silver Lancers and the Veridans began to rebuild and strengthen their alliance, the sense of accomplishment was tempered by the knowledge of the challenges ahead. The battle had been won, but the war for peace and unity continued.